Hey, hey! Look at those guys.
Are
Hello,
we
everyone.
on the internet?
No, we never went off.
Oh no! Here, let
No,
me push
we're just
two
on
buttons.
TV instead.
Yeah.
Are we live or are we Memorex? We're Memorex because we're all
Nice.
taped up.
Yes, we are all just figments of your imagination. Hello, everyone.
Oh, I should
Welcome.
probably click on the stuff.
Welcome to Eat My Donuts.
/host.
Welcome to Eat My Donuts. That's hilarious.
2D4. There.
Yeah, that's
Host
because we
us.
had the donut screen for the last 5 minutes, just so people would know that we are actually coming online and on schedule. So I had the donuts prelude us here. We also have a new follower. The Jalos has followed us 2 days ago. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And he's actually
And the
talking.
Jalos is in chat. Hello.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy, and welcome.
A little known secret, I know this guy in real life.
Oh,
Jarlos play on Carlos?
Yes, to Jalos, we have a world famous guitar player every now and then on this show called Carlos Santana. If you ever heard of him, he's over there.
He's up that way, yeah. That's him.
That is Carlos Santana in the flesh.
the one and only, folks. Ba-dum, bam, ba-dum. All right, welcome everybody back. We had a what, 2-week break?
Good night. Okay. Yeah, apparently muted. Bye bye.
Oh no!
Oh, hold on.
No, we should be out and loud, but I think Frog's gonna just was commenting on the music.
Yeah, it's not plugged in. I mean, this one's better for it. This one you could hear.
There you go.
Ah, you're too kind. Stop pampering our subscribers. Oh wait, actually, he wasn't a subscriber until you gave him one.
Anywho, well, welcome back. We had a nice little 2-week break. It's good. We got some new peoples. This is fantastic. We're going to continue the story.
Indeed.
But first, as always, we do a little banter mode. It's been 2 weeks. A lot of shit has happened.
Indeed, lots of incredible shit. Like
Listen.
I had a
Well-
baseball draft. Ooh,
What?
that was exciting.
Did you get Mick Mantle?
no,
Fernando
he's-
Valenzuela?
No. The first one's dead. The second one's retired.
That makes sense. That would make it hard to get points, huh?
I was about to say,
Like a
what they
support
need
scout?
to be playing for you to gain points for having them on your fantasy baseball team.
Not really even fantasy. It's more like replaying the previous year, which of course was the screwed up year, but
The Gaslight year. Well, congratulations on drafting for baseball. How do you feel your team is coming along?
better than I expected.
Good.
Yeah, he drafted Babe Ruth, so he's all set.
No, he's dead too.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's right.
Though
How about the big bopper? Is he still playing?
we used to have the name for our list of 10 players that we could keep that didn't play that year or didn't play enough to actually get a card that year. And right now we call it our no card list or whatever, but it used to be our dead man's list.
Oh, interesting. That's a cool name for it.
Because, well, the card was dead
Sure.
for that year or whatever. Then I guess they decided that was a stupid name, and I agreed.
Froggy
Could
says,
you just imagine they don't have a card because they did actually die? It
Oh.
might just been too much on the
they're-
nose.
Well, yes, that actually happened. Like, what was it, Jose Fernandez and his boat accident?
Oof.
see, I'm a more football guy, and my fantasy football drafts are coming up. We had a 10-year league where we would continue it going and keep the players and just trade within them every year, get new ones.
Yeah.
That finally ended. Damn it. So
Keep
now
the
we're
leagues up.
starting it brand new again in a couple of weeks. Actually, I
Yeah.
think we're going to draft on Wednesday. Yikes. I'm unprepared. Woefully unprepared. Froggy says he just finished a 4-month project. Now he can focus on other projects.
Other projects.
Well,
Do a 3-month project next. It'll be less lengthy.
Then
Yeah.
he'll be on a 2-month project, a 1-month project, a half-month project.
Or you
And
could
then-
just be like me and live in the projects.
Ah.
Fan, John, how about you? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's okay. Thankfully, I've not
Anything new, interesting to report?
just added to my small armory.
Nice. That was the nice little. Is that how real is that?
Oh no, these are synthetic messers, so it's actual plastic blade.
Bringing a plastic sword to a BB
Gunfight?
gun fight.
It's because I can do.
That's not a knife.
that's not a knife. This is a gun.
This is the sharpest one yet.
Oh, you guys.
That's not a
Actually-
knife. Yes, it's not. It's not a knife.
I got myself 2 of them. The reason for it is I've not been able to practice because of COVID, and my girlfriend's coming.
Oh,
So you're
perfect.
gonna practice some swords play on her?
Yeah, so I'm just thinking if I'm going to the park outside, better to actually. It's cheaper for me to buy these, and they cause less offense to the cops who are armed with guns than me swinging, a £300 metal blunt instead. Which
Yeah.
actually,
If you can
From a
swing
distance-
a 300-pound metal sword, I'm impressed.
I do believe it was a pound sterling.
yeah,
Silver swords.
Oh, not 300-pound weight.
No.
Okay.
300 pounds
I
sterling.
would be
That's
impressed
funny.
if I could lift £300.
That's funny. That's funny.
Because
Moving on, Jericho. You
Yeah.
got some news too, right?
Yeah. I got promoted to chief executive officer.
Chief Executive Officer, not minor executive officer. Chief one.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the board of executives decided that I should be taking the role. Mainly because I was the only volunteer in the company.
And it's like, who wants to be CEO? And everybody's like, not it,
Yeah,
it.
basically.
not it.
I was like,
How much
"Fine,
extra
I'll be-"
does it pay?
Fantastic. No,
No,
obviously
no.
we're just joshing you. You're gonna do great. You're a fantastic.
I-
You
I'm
You are a
hoping
supposed
fantastic
to walk in the
organizer
room.
and leader. And let me blow more smoke up your butt.
Yeah, hopefully I will do good. Hopefully the business will be good. Worst case scenario, I can always put on my resume that I was a CEO of a company for at least
Yeah.
a week.
You are.
You're a big kid now.
Actually, starting tomorrow, I can put
Big
it in
week.
2 months because I started in the previous month and I got fired at the earliest next month because the guy who can fire me doesn't come to work until Monday.
You are a master of your own destiny now.
Not funny. I still have a
So you
board of
should drink
executives
a-
I'm responsible to.
If you're the master of your own destiny, then you should drink a Chardonnay.
Exactly.
Shards of Destiny.
Exactly, yes. Nice one. Set up, knocked it out of the park.
And
Fantastic.
let's get onwards with the
Not
Shards
quite
of
yet.
Destiny. Oh, you still have more.
Yeah, I had my birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank
belatedly.
My condolences, good man. My condolences.
Yeah, I'm a
You
nice
youngling,
even.
you.
I'm a nice even number, 44, and I'm gonna stay that
Yeah.
from now on.
Until you
Use
turn
the
80.
fours wisely.
I've reached the number that I wanted to reach, and we're ending right there.
Yeah.
No more.
Pin on your
Next time-
statistics.
Next time you're gonna age up, that's gonna be to 88, and that's just because you're gonna turn into a flak cannon.
I may go 55. Then we'll see how it goes.
Hold on.
Thank you, Froggy. I
we're-
appreciate you. Yes, I
We're,
do.
we're
look
doing
younger
critical success and failure numbers from Call of Cthulhu. Is that how you're aging now?
today. Every 11 years, yes. Again,
So it's like women were
Integers of
29
one
until
ones.
they turn 59, then they become 39, until they become 69, and then they become 49.
I was told there'd be no math.
It's like,
Somebody
They
lied
lied to you.
are we? Is that why, like, Spanish men for so long look quite young and then they just poof, instantly age overnight? Is that what happens? Is that what we're saying?
saying? Are you talking about the women or the men?
The men.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a certain point where our testosterone level stops, and then we're like, yeah, I don't care anymore. And then you go,
Once upon a time.
yeah. Luckily, I think that won't happen for me till the 70s. So
2070s or 1970s?
2070?
both. Yeah. There it is. Thank you. I am working at, this is probably the healthiest I've been in 20 years since I got out of high school in football.
This is the most stressed I've been. Ever.
Yeah. Listen, kids.
Getting
Yeah,
old sucks.
you do not know how easy you have it when you are able to do sports, do everything, and still have time to play games.
Oh yeah, playing games, that's gonna be hard soon. Gonna get into the working mode.
Yeah.
I can hardly move my mouse anymore.
Oh yeah, says the retired fella. At least he has time to play games.
Yeah, Mister. How many hours is it on GTD?
On what?
Permanent.
No,
DVD.
no.
Oh,
what-
DVD? Oh,
DVD. Dead by Daylight. Sorry, yeah.
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 About 1,020 or 1,030 now.
All during retirement.
All during the last less than a year, or
Yeah.
about a year.
I did a lot of video games, but not so much anymore. I've been having to.
I never really played video games before I retired,
I didn't
except
have the time for it.
when I was a kid. Oh, I'm also on day 1,206 of my long weekend.
I don't think they had computers invented yet, bro.
I got my
Concerned
first
that-
computer
wait,
in 1979.
I'm just thinking Pong was
Really?
what,
Did-
the
did
early
It
70s.
fit a whole warehouse.
No, it was an Apple II Plus
I'm just.
with 64K of RAM because we had a language card and dual floppy drives. Even the school Apple II Plus only had cassette tape for saving files.
No
And
joke. That was pretty good for 1979.
guess how much it cost?
$5,000.
Very close, 4,800.
And that's in 1979. Or
Then
jeez.
the next year, I went out and bought myself a modem so that I could communicate to university.
To ARPANET.
And the 300 baud modem I got, which I personally paid for myself because my mom paid for the computer, was $600
Wow.
for a 300 baud modem. You can
300
type a
baud.
lot. Even I can type faster than 300 baud. Well, maybe not quite, but
So
type very well. But you probably can.
cut to 1990, and that's 56K baud modem, 5,600, and that was like the fastest you could do on download, right?
Well, anything over 1,200 is faster than you can read it. So that's all that really matters.
You were at 300. What did it take? Like 5 hours to download a picture of a nipple, or
What? How would I download a picture of a nipple? But no, I usually just used it to connect to university. It wasn't. And of course, we're in DOS days, so there's no Windows, no high resolution graphics. Though I
Could
did.
you just imagine naked pictures done as ASCII art?
oh yeah,
Actually,
Yes.
it is.
Yes, that already exists.
There is actually, it just told me, there is some brilliant ASCII artists.
I actually wrote a D&D character generation program for my Apple II Plus.
oh wow,
And it loaded this high-res graphics page that had welcome to the dungeon. Oh, and it spoke through the tinny speakers. Welcome to the Dungeon and Dragon character generation program by Stephen Karche. Sorry, I
Wow.
just gave
You
away my real
really
name.
missed a joke there.
Then
You should have played
Because-
Welcome to the Jungle.
the rest of the program loaded, which overwrote the high-res graphics page. So I had to load a low-res graphics picture that basically showed the same thing, but not anywhere into the detail. And while the program is running, the computer had exactly 2K of RAM left available. 2K. That's it.
Oh boy, those were the days.
It reminds me of like the stories of I remember hearing like Defender when it came out, the arcade game. It was like one of the first games that actually allow you to actually go like side scrollers. Before that, you could only go left to right, and you were stuck. And then Defender was revolutionary because you could reverse and go backwards.
Yes.
It had a
You
memory.
know how much space that program takes up?
All of it.
Probably 5 times as much.
No, you look at your desktop. Anyone who's on the computer right now, if you look at your desktop, you look at a game, any program icon, that takes up more space on your PC
The
than the
shortcut.
original Defender or a lot of your old arcade games from the 80s.
So like 100 kilobytes. Not even that.
That it just shows you.
And it was all hand coded.
Well, you can
Well,
hand code
basically,
half
for Defender, it's basically just a map. So you're just showing what part of the map you want to show, and then you put the ships or whatever you're fighting against on that same map. So the map itself doesn't change. It's already all loaded. So
Well, speaking of advancements in gaming technology, we've gone so advanced that we're going to use our imagination for this next part.
the.
So we're going
Okay.
backwards.
As we continue on with
line
Shards of Destiny,
in the
tabletop
dark.
theater. Yes, our 15 minutes intro time of talking and catching up has expired. You all are here for the story, and I appreciate it. Or just here for me. It's cool. Either one. It's
Oh.
fine.
One other thing I did well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Let's talk about that. How sexy does Chance look now? Or look. One of us.
Not at all.
John.
We on
next.
the left side of the screen disagree with this proposal. We
You
like
mean
our
the-
hair as it is.
You mean the right side of the screen?
It is left
Depends
side
on
to
where we're
us.
No, you're on the right on the stream.
What's it look like on the Twitch? Let me see.
On the Twitch, we're on the right. And that means
yeah,
we're
correct.
right.
Yes, we are absolutely right. You should have a long, flowing, sexy hair like us. Us Europeans on this side of the map.
More skin.
I don't care where European. Hopefully it's in a toilet.
Yes, the colonists are getting rowdy again. Shall we send the tweets?
Oh no, I'm feeling flushed. All right.
Indeed.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Back to the game.
No worries.
We were
Back to the game.
chasing
Welcome
Marie.
back. Let me get into proper mode. Done. Welcome back to Tabletop Theater, where we continue Shards of Destiny. In today's episode, what we decide? Blind in the Dark. We left off. Carlos and his cohorts, his military army, have been invading the realm of Taldora here in Exandria, using portal technology coming in from the Fey world, as the audience will note it as Earth. He's been doing some coordinated, very, very coordinated attacks, where him and his army have been capturing as many of the spirit shards as possible. In doing so, the council, the Arcanum Pontifical, a secret organization that's been a collection of multiple wizards and truth seekers and very important people, have formed a secret organization to try to prevent the next calamity from happening, as the previous calamity, about 100 years ago, was the rise of Vecna. This time, a new threat occurs in Carlos. He's been collecting all these spirit shards for reasons unknown. As such, Seer Allura, as one of the highest ranking members of the Arcanum Philosophical, has tasked you with a simple mission.
Don't die.
Go forth.
When there's two simples, it's never simple.
It becomes simple
Indeed.
to the power of 2.
As you found out on your oh shoot, where were you at?
So we're talking about this as like a double negative,
Yep.
It actually becomes
exactly.
so.
No, it
double
isn't a
simple
negative.
becomes complex.
Your
Okay.
simple mission was to meet up with Professor Lara Croft and travel into the giant titan within Vasselheim. There you were to find the chamber of shadows, where you were to reveal the location of the remaining spirit shard. Alora's task simple: find out where the mass concentration are at. Report back to her so you could protect them against Carlos's next invasion. However, once there, you found out they weren't really looking for the shards. They were looking for a very specific thing, a dark energy location, something unknown. And you found that there in the Neverlands is where they were. Neverlands, and it's on this map. Whatever, we don't have to show it right now. But in the Neverlands, up north, a region is where Carlos's destination is going to be. And you also found big, big, big spirit shard at the center of Iman. What this means, who knows? But this is the information you were tasked to retrieve and report back. Upon finding this out, you were almost surprised, attacked, and by Maria, sexy ninja, who is the wife of Carlos. Her
They
and her
got
other
married.
ninja. Her and the other ninjas attacked you, and if not by a very, very keen moment of destiny where chance just happened to glance up perfectly just before she struck, you prevented the assassination of Jericho, the rest of the party, and someone else. However, you were unsuccessful in killing her, and she escaped. You're currently going through the tunnels, chasing her. And this is where we pick up. Camera fades in. Chase music. Tense chase music pumps up. The cavern is all we see is very much backlit cavern like you inside a cavern. Panting.
That one's copyrighted.
The camera zooms in on a picture of a black in armor with a little bit of ninja attire, cloth, the face revealed, showing a Latina, long dark hair woman that your audience recognizes as Maria. She glances back. Gets on her walkie-talkie. I'm almost back at the location. What are you? And then she continues running. She runs into somebody. The camera pulls out to reveal Kaltor. Vampiric. Humanoid. In gray and black, his eyes a little bit glowing out. He stands and looks at Maria. Did you bring what you were looking for? Maria looks at Kalter with knowing like acknowledgement. No, they were too quick for me. I did not get what I needed. Carlos won't be pleased. We'll have to do something about this. Maria, quick, they're still after us. They're just on my heels. Walter's eyes glow white, then fade to normal. No, we still have time. No, we still have time. Time works different here. We still need to get what we need. Maria says to him, did you get what you needed to do? Call to respond. Events have been set in motion. His eyes glow one more time. They're coming. The portal's almost here. We will have to delay them. Get ready, I sense them near. Cut to all four of you, led by Lara Croft, who's hurt. I mean, there was a explosion. Her clothes are singed. She's been bleeding out. She's kind of limping, carrying her little satchel with the that circular thing the MacGuffin called. I forget. I need your help here.
No.
Astroglobe. The
Astroglobe.
Astroglobe. Astroglobe within her satchel.
By the way, I
You guys are-
apologize. I was about to say a line when you said his eyes were doing this glowy thing. I said, "There's a Visine for that."
Indeed.
All right.
You're going through the you're making your way through the tunnels. You found like an access area through the top which you had escaped. You're going through the caverns. There's a series of things. Lara, she's looking at like this this map that's semi shows the location or the pathways, and she's guiding you through a couple locations. Anything while you're trying to catch up? Is there anything that you'd like to do to speed up exposition, things like that?
While we're walking along, or are we walking or running?
Up to you.
I just want to like give a pep talk. I want to give a pep talk and a speech as we're going along.
Fantastic. Right now's a perfect opportunity to do so. Go ahead.
Pep talk and speech. Oh, yeah.
We'll fill
Come on,
in,
guys. We're gonna get her. We got to get her this time. And some by the way, I guess we didn't get a rest, did we?
No, you did not get a rest. You're still in hot pursuit. Your whatever wounds and spell stuff is still expended.
Okay. But I never got a chance to do this last time. That's why I was going to do it now.
Perfect opportunity to do so. As you're rushing along, we're going to do this little quick montage of you rushing through the tunnels. We'll fill it in with voiceover. I'll have my writers punch up your speech. But at a certain spot, we'll get to a thing, and you all feel energized as your mission is clear. Catch Maria before she escapes, or catch Maria before she escapes. Tell me again.
Those are the two choices? Catch Maria before she escapes, or catch Maria before she escapes.
There's more choices. I don't want to give you the choices just yet.
Okay.
So how's this work? You guys get 10 temporary points, or is it 11 now?
It's 11 now.
Very well. Go ahead and mark it down. Whatever wounds you still had are still present. However, you now have 11 temporary hit points. And I think that's just it. It goes 11 into. It doesn't increase your maximum too, does it?
No.
No, that's a different spell. No worries.
Well, technically, it increases your maximum because if you're at maximum, you also have 11 temporary, but it doesn't actually change your maximum hit points.
You're crossing along, and why don't all three of you roll me a survival, a perception, or a investigation to help track where she's at, and I'll have Lara, do the same thing.
Oh yeah, I'm useless.
I should probably report what the results are.
I think it's
Blink is doing
chance.
good. I'll leave it to Blink. Blink, you know exactly what to look for. Maria's been doing a very good job of like not trying to leave any footprints or things like that or covering up her tracks. But you knowing exactly how rogues work, spot the telltale signs of like, oh, here's a handprint against the wall. Here's where she obviously covered it up to make it look like normal. You could tell because the sand is brushed a different
Yes.
way. And you
I'll,
do a
I'll,
fantastic.
I'll point that out to her. You're not doing it right. Do it this way.
You just hear the echo going, seriously, you can do better than this.
You move on, and just about this time, the speech is finishing up, and you get to like a crossroads section, and Laura stops and looks at the map. Okay, we take the pathway to the left. We'll be able to get out of the Titan, and we'll be able to send Laura message using our walkie-talkies and alert her. Or we could go to the right. Keep following Maria.
I feel it is more important to warn Allura than to catch Maria.
I'm not sure. Perhaps we can send Lara to warn Allura, because they both start with L.
And you
And
continue
we can
to chase
continue.
after the assassin.
I think, Steve, they pose a bigger threat. But the choice is yours. I could guide you one way or the other. I feel like we only have one map. You can only go one way.
Did Maria
As
leave a
this-
trail behind?
What's that?
Did Maria leave a trail behind?
You've been catching it briefly, and as a matter of fact, if you do me one more perception check, everybody, at this junction. In fact, I'm gonna do what I was gonna do and have Laura do a perception check as well.
No.
Come on, why is stuff not showing?
You rolled a 2 and a 1.
Sometimes it
Why?
happens.
Still did better than Feng.
Jericho, you hear a familiar, you hear like a sort of like a rumbling, a familiar voice echoing through the chambers on the right. And more importantly, you get that sense, the divine sense as well from Palor, something in your gut and is telling you danger. And you need to face that thing. Towards your right.
By any
We
chance,
must
does it
go-
come out?
We
Does
must
it
go
come
to
out
the
as-
right.
Danger Will Robinson. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
We must go to the right. We cannot delay. This is the right path. That is where.
Yes, the right is the right path, and the left is the left path.
And with that, Laura puts away the map, makes her decision, checks her.
Jericho
checks,
is already going at that point.
We start moving. You're like that sense of the more now that you've made that decision, you have that sense of yes, this is right. That righteous
Clarity of mind.
that's the exact phrase that I was trying to figure out. You have a clarity of mind, a sense of purpose, of mission.
Once you have accepted death, there is nothing there.
Fantastic. And you lead the way now. You're like rushing forward, boom, boom. You can feel it, that energy, that sense. It's almost like a sense of deja vu. Like, yes, I've been here before. I've stepped here before. It's both frightening and reassuring. And the more and more the faster you go, the further you go in, the feeling gets stronger and stronger. There's a pathway on the left. I mean, there's like a tunnel, and then it curves over to the left, and it starts to open. And as it seems to like want to open up, and as you get to that corner, and you turn to your left,
We went into
Kaltor.
Coulter?
Kalter is right there, in full, just like as you had seen him a few previous days before. All in black, hair, or like that brownish, grayish, blackish thing. His hair wild and black, and his eyes are glowing white. His fingertips themselves are kind of like in a seem to be like glowing in a sense of a buzz a buzz of magic. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Coulter, old buddy.
I am not your buddy anymore. You made it abundantly clear that I wasn't part of the group, that I wasn't welcome. And his eyes are staring dagger right at Jericho.
So this is the path you choose then.
But he fed you some of his hair.
This is a path. That is my destiny. I have seen it now. His eyes glow white again, with just a hint of green glow as well. Sort of like that same greenish glow that you get from the green hand of Vecna when Carlos is doing his magics. I try to be nice. I try to be the good guy. And every single time I tried, you were there. Put me in my place. You just couldn't accept me as an equal. You saw me as a monster, as less than. Well, I am that monster. Carlos has accepted me. I am.
You just hear a laugh from Feng, who's just drawn his short sword. Just got it resting on his shoulder like I have right now. You think that Carlos sees you as an equal. You're just but a tool to him. You can see the magic of Carlos coming off you. You're
Roll me
just a
perception.
puppet.
Oh, as he says the word puppet.
Do you want me to roll the perception?
Not perception, persuasion.
Oh, persuasion. Sorry. I might need to roll a perception just to make sure I'm hearing you properly.
Yeah, my bad.
15?
With a 15, there's like a brief pain look as you say that the word a puppet and a tool. I have more freedom of choice under Carlos than with Laura. She has just been manipulating all of you. You, Chance, Jericho, Feng. She pulls the strings for her own wants and powers. At no point have you had a free choice in the matter, have you? Chance!
And Carlos using the hand of Vecna to charm you has given you choice?
Persuasion.
20?
You can see him like step back and almost like shake his head. There is no choice anymore. His eyes glow white again. I have seen destiny. He showed me the way how to properly open my eyes. And he pulls out like his astro globe. Like he opens his hand and from like a pocket dimension, the astro globe shows up again. And it's slowly turning, but now the center, whereas previously the astro globes you've seen, when you put your necklace with a
Mhm.
tiny shard of destiny inside of it, his has like a blackened aura inside of his, and the whole thing is just spinning slowly and slowly. It's even though the inside is a blackened grayish aura, the outside is still glowing white and pulsating, just like at the same breath as like his eyes are pulsating. I've been given the sight beyond sight. I can see the future and the past.
You have been given nothing but a sight of illusions, sight of glamours, and sight of what they want you to see.
I can do that too, Alter.
I won't believe your lies anymore. Roll me a Jericho, that was a good one. Roll me a persuasion check.
27!
Natural 20.
Have I ever said a word of lie to you or to anyone else?
Wow.
He is a jackass, but he does stick to the truth that as he knows it.
As you're saying this, like he's continually just like moving back and his eyes stop glowing white, and you could see his face changes to a sense of sadness and horror. I and just as that happens, a portal appears behind dark green, the usual Rick and Morty style portal where it's all greenish and glowing yellow, and it's opened up behind them. The entire cavern floods in a greenish light as it extends outward. And just as easily his face resolves. I'm sorry. And his eyes glow white again, and this time turn into like a greenish tint to them as well. It's too late. Things have been set in motion. There is just one last thing to do. And his hand like does this motion, and this whole time he was talking like is the magic-y in potentia fulfills, and you see like a black or a reddish fireball happening in his hand, and it just grows and grows and grows. And you guys are now good 20, 25, 30 feet behind. All the special effects happen. A flood of like fire is coming in with nowhere to escape.
No, my budget!
Oh my God.
What would you like? Cut to your guys' reaction.
Shield! And
Absolutely.
Sorry, Lara.
get between
nice
the
knowing you.
fireball and Lara, because that's
You were already in the front, so you just putting up your shield and the magic expands. For fun, why don't you roll me a you know what it is, dexterity saving throw with advantage because you have the shield now.
11. Ah, that gets +4. So no, +5, 16.
16. It's
22? 32?
more than enough. It was a close call, but like as the flames hit the shield, it evaporates to the side. All of you feel the intense, tense heat. You all feel the tense heat hit you from the side, but Jericho's shield is doing a fantastic job of protecting everybody.
Not taking any damage anyway.
Until you hear from behind, ah! And
He fried
Dude,
Maria.
I'm trying to do a female Lara Croft screaming in the
Oh.
background. It's terribly bad.
Oh,
We'll
I
fill
thought
it.
that was
You know what?
Maria.
We'll fill it in.
I thought that was
post.
Maria you were blowing up.
We'll fill it in. We'll fill it in post.
Okay.
Oddly enough, there has been no sign of Maria so far until you turn around and the camera cuts to the reaction as Lara in the back is like, you cut the camera cuts to see Lara because she just screamed, illuminated still by the flames, and behind her is Maria holding a blade up to her neck.
Now be careful with that blade to your own neck.
This was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Oops, I slipped. Ah.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing. I think my brightness is a little bit too much, so I'm going to turn down my brightness. Hang on. Nope, that's not it.
That's your contrast you've affected.
Oh no.
That's better.
He's not as bright anymore.
I know it has to do with the shards.
He's gonna make poor
Anyways,
choices now.
so Maria is got from behind Laura. Anybody move, she dies immediately. And as such, Laura is like her hands are put up, and Maria is like slowly guiding her, like she's capturing her, and she's like holding her behind, pushing herself against the wall and separating herself from you as she's like moving around you. The camera makes it a point to keep like 10-15 feet between all of you. And on the the camera pulls one more time to show different cross section. Cut to Kaltor with his hands out behind him, the green portal opening up. Cut to your guys' reaction. Still like the flames coming off of the shield as it's like still illuminating the place. Cut to Lara and Maria inching themselves closer and closer towards Kaltor. You are too late. You are too late. Kaltor tells Maria, bring her. If anybody moves, gets it. And Kaltor has this evil smile as his eyes flash white again with green. I know your every move.
I am gonna palm a dart.
Do it.
This is never too late.
A sleight of hand.
Yep. Okay.
Culture, it is never too late.
Oh god damn it.
Camera cuts to like you trying to palm it.
Yeah.
And it's cut to the reaction shot by Maria. Her eyes shift. Anything else that you guys would like to do?
While she's shifting to him, I'm going to palm a dagger.
Do it. Sleight of hand.
I'm trying to just
20.
palm a dart last click. Yeah, I think you palmed that.
You're smaller, and her attention is fully on Feng as she says, "Don't even think about it." She gets it, and she still hold it. Don't even think about it, or she gets it.
Culture, it is never too late. Your mind is your own. See the truth behind their lies. They have been feeding you nothing but
Is there
illusions.
Go ahead.
Maria says, "Don't listen to these fools.
If they
Don't listen
don't
to
want
these
you
fools.
to
You
listen,
know what I've seen."
if they don't want you to listen, they know we're speaking the truth.
Silence.
They are afraid of our words.
Don't do it. Roll me a persuasion versus my persuasion check. Maria, where's Maria?
Oh, 11. Oh, damn, that's a low roll.
Please roll one. Please roll one.
Where's Maria? Okay, there she is. Assassin.
Gonna be 12.
Persuasion.
You see, or that are going to be. It's either going to be just the same.
6.
It's 6!
As you're saying that, like Coulter's eyes Uh, I, I'm sorry. I'm
Used to
trying.
saying sorry
It's
too.
and he like for brief. You get through for just a brief second, and then his eyes turn fully
Yeah, while
greenish.
he's distracted, that's when Paladin Jericho felt now.
And I'm going to toss the dagger into the hand holding the knife to Lara's throat.
And I'm going to throw my manacles at Maria.
Well, it's much more difficult because she's got 3/4 cover, and she's got Lara. I mean, she's like fully doing pulling Laura. Go ahead, and both of you, first off, Chance, throw your thing, and again, the DC is a lot higher.
So +5.
That's a natural
Oh no!
one.
Sorry, that's a 1.
You can
I'm a
reroll.
halfling. I get to reroll. 22.
Still not enough. Still not enough.
Mine, I do believe, is a effect that has a spell DC. So she needs to roll above 16. On I do believe it is strength check.
No, it's on one of these you can either use your acrobatics or athletics. It's the same thing, it's the same grapple rules. It's basically you're trying to grapple. So it's
Okay, because it's a spell. It's not really a.
So you're right. You know what? You're right. It's a dexterity saving throw. It's a dexterity.
It was
so either way,
saving throw to shut them off. I believe.
That's it's a you can either do a dex or a strength in this case. I'm gonna just keep that roll, but minus the it's a +6. So either way, her dex save is the same, and because it's evasion, she takes no. So sorry guys, it was very close, and I wanted you to succeed. I really did. The dagger, like she's been watching it. She's expecting this, and as you do it, Coulter's eyes like refocus again, green. No, and he pulls. He sends out one more fire blast towards you at the same time that Maria with Laura just finally catch up to the even side of them. He sends out one more fiery blast. I would like either you to do the shield thing again with advantage, and everybody else do a dexterity thing.
Do that then. To the 20
more
from
than
me,
Jericho,
and everybody gets a +3 from me anyway.
Yeah, that's more than enough on your side to do it. The wall, the fire-ish wall hits one more time, filling the area. And when it dies down, your eyes take a few seconds to adjust after the bright light. The camera does its little thing, just in time to see Maria take Professor Croft in through the portal, and Coulter one more time. Don't follow. Don't follow.
I'm gonna tackle him into that portal.
Yes. Yes.
Athletics.
Do it. Athletics versus let me bring up his character sheet.
I do believe it's against strength or
either my dexterity or his acrobatics, which is gonna be suck anyways.
21.
Are we hearing like some basically the 4 o'clock portal to the Netherlands will be departing in the next minute.
In 15
Please make
seconds.
sure that your all appendages are fully through the portal.
Oh boy.
And not hanging through midway.
Yeah, we're gonna go acrobatics, which is not
sever said appendages.
like a linebacker / paladin full of armor and weapons, whose legs are like super buff, going up against a very skinny book nerd like Coulter, regardless of him being a vampire or not. Slam into him. The momentum of both of you carried through the portal with a big old shloop.
That's some broken bones.
The only thing left now is, camera cuts to you going into it, disappearing out of sight. Feng and
I guess
Chance.
we're going after him.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Book it.
Yep.
Book it, Dano? No, that's not it. Dan.
Yeah, Feng's just going to grab Chance by the collar and just drag him.
I was going on my own, you fool.
Well,
I know
I'm
you
just
move
thinking-
faster. I know.
Yes. If you want, I can throw you through the portal.
Here's what's happening.
Okay.
Chance is like moving at full speed, and then from out of the camera shifts to him camera coming in from underneath and almost like
And you-
dragging him as Feng.
And you see me running in midair, trying to keep going.
comically. First person perspective as the portal is like getting bigger and bigger as you approach, and cut to against your reaction. Cut to one more time, showing you enter in like a little go through, and then just as Chance's little tiny legs finally go through the portal, it closes up, leaving nothing but darkness. And that's where we're going to take a small break.
See you at 10 past.
Fantastic.
Now, where's the break button? Woo!
And we're back. Hello, everybody.
Allegedly.
We're out of donuts.
We're out of donuts indeed. That's how we measure time around here. Not with a watch, but with donuts.
Yeah.
Dough or donut? There is no try.
Yeah, very good. Speaking of which, we forgot to talk about next Sunday. Not tomorrow, but 8 days from now, Story Circle time is happening.
Oh, yes, on Sunday at the same time as the show, but on a different day.
Yes.
Gonna be filming a said donut show. I mean the Story Circle, which is a donut in itself.
This is true. With a creamy center.
Yeah.
Raspberry filled. My favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Too many seeds.
So on the 8th of August, yes, it is August. Yes,
Yes, very much so.
there will be at 8 hours at at 8 p.m. GMT, which is the universally lauded time zone of the. No, wait, actually, it's
9.
GMT +1 because it's summer and time zones are annoying. Anyways, the same time.
All
as
I
this
know
show.
is that I don't keep track of this shit. I just show up at my time because I'm too American to figure out time, and I know
And that's my job, so.
they just tell me where to show up. They hand me the script, I memorize it, and then I move forward from there.
Yeah,
Well,
and you're doing
you get
sloppy
a
job on
script?
that memorization.
It's all that weed that I smoke, probably.
Damn you and your legal weed.
Which I'm kidding, it's bad for you, and that's one of the things. Side effects is memory loss.
People don't remember that.
I forgot what you're talking about.
What? Where were we? It's all good, man. Is Dave there? Anyway, so next Sunday when we come back, we'll have this. We'll do Story Circle. We'll be introduced to Neri, a good friend of mine that lives by. A big fan of movies as well as a co-writer of stuff. We'll be talking and discussing Story Circle, which is all story structure, how to write things, setups, payoffs, character development. In particular, we're going to be paying attention to the first and best example of the Story Circle, which is Star Wars: A New Hope.
Episode 4.
Episode 4, right. Let's be clear. Episode 4, and we'll talk.
Now, when I first saw it, it was just Star Wars.
Yes.
It wasn't even A New Hope.
Yeah, it was
It was
hopeless.
just Star Wars. The Star Wars.
No, it was
Star
just Star Wars.
Star
no
Wars.
problem.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Ironically, it was the episode 4 before there were episodes before it. There was episode 4, 5, and 6, but there was no 1 and 3 for 20 years.
I mean, they were pre-written, but they were like, yeah, we can't your whole saga. We're not gonna write that. Just focus on one part, and it doesn't matter. We'll talk about all of that, and then keep in mind for those of you tuning in, we'll have some movies to discuss because we will do. Hope the plan is we have something like this every 2 weeks, so we'll figure something out for the next movie to watch and discuss afterward. But that's then, and this is now.
Vote in Discord. And I just want an excuse to get Froggy into Discord.
You know what? Yes, very much so. Yes. Those in the links. Comment. Sure, like, subscribe, whatever it is.
Hey, you don't even have a Discord command? Come on.
But that was then, and this is now, and we are returning back from break, figuring out what's on the other side of the portal. Obviously, that's what's
These things.
these things. Or is it?
Maybe we have been bamboozled.
Let's get in this.
Dangerous.
Black. Fade in. Portal is all we see. Green. The camera pulls out to reveal a portal. Slowly, it expands to show more of the room that we're in. It's a warehouse, blank wall. Now this portal we're gonna introduce the sci-fi Stargate style portal here, where it's a full-on circle. It's got those little sci-fi gate runes. There's electronic wires and lights and blinking LEDs on it, but the center of it is washing green, and first comes out Maria with Lara Croft and comes out of the screen and unseen. Still, we're just revealing the blankish kind of wall, unfamiliar, surrounded by the Stargate style circle with wires and dead center at the portal. Then comes out in a football tackle style, Jericho landing on top of Coulter on the ground, just pinning him down. Followed a few seconds afterward by Feng and Chance. The portal closes, where there was once that portal and now is just a blank circle, revealing a concrete wall behind. Expands a little bit further to show concrete, almost like a warehouse type thing. Camera pulls out to show you just Jericho on top of Kaltor. Cut to a close up of you two, and his face is all like, oh. Would you care to say anything? As you say, it's never too late. The camera pulls up to show you where you're at. You're in a warehouse. It's dark. There's modern lights. This is strange to both Chance, Feng, and Jericho. Chance in particular. All of you have this sense of like nausea, of time, of being warped one place to another. It's disorienting. Everything's a buzz. Your head is still spinning as you're trying to adjust. The air here feels absolutely different. There's a sort of buzzing in the air, an electronic hum that's pervasive in your skull constantly. There's that buzz of electricity that only happens here on Earth, where it's an annoying zzz constantly happening.
Just to say, Wooster, are you muted?
No.
He just whispered.
Froggy didn't hear you.
He whispered, "It's never too late." And as he holding him there, and he whispers one more time, "It's never too late." That's when you hear the click, 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 click. Camera pulls out to reveal a squad, 15, 20, 25 armed individuals, all of them pointing at you, weapons drawn. You're in an enclosed location, a warehouse with tons of floodlights, tons of electronic gear, crates, crates stacked up in one place to another, things on carts and wheels.
And a
And
large
there-
stone ring behind us.
Large stone ring behind you, placed up against a concrete wall in this warehouse. And stepping forward is Carlos.
Feng's just going to lower Chance down onto his feet. There.
Thanks. I'm gonna hide behind Feng because he's an easy person to hide behind.
Feng's just going to step forward, pull out the sword. And he's just going to flick the tip down to Carlos. And he just goes,
Is
Hmm.
Carlos there? Sorry, I'm like,
Carlos is, the camera reveals you surrounded by tons of these soldiers, and up on a little bit further up, 20, 25, 30 feet away, approaches Carlos, stepping out of the shadows, just revealing little by little the light, until finally his face is revealed. His eyes are bright white. He's dressed in militaristic pants, black, with lots of pockets, a belt adorned with multiple little things, kind of like a Batman utility belt. Simple gray t-shirt, exposing ripped, muscular arms, not like mine, but more. From last time you saw him, he has bulked up tremendously. His eyes are ablaze bright white. There's a sort of whitish aura about him constantly, and as well with like green tints. On occasion, you'll see like a little bit of like electrical, but it's green, electrical, magical energy that seems to originate from his greenish, mummified, almost like tiny hand that is small in comparison to the other one, kind of like this.
Mhm.
It looks lame and weak. Yes, Carlos is 100% roided up. As he grabs, and he's in his hand is one more of these spirit shards. He just crushes it.
Carlos
In your guys'
Bane.
presence, you could see him like fill a little bit more. His eyes grow brighter white. Below you, underneath, where Coulter was temporarily like knocked to his senses, his eyes glow white and green again, and he shoves you off and stands up straight, picks up his belongings, straightens himself up and separates himself from all of you. Coulter, you brought them exactly as planned. It's true. Your foresight has been a valuable asset. I asked you to bring me the other astral globe. You have succeeded. And Maria like slowly brings forward Allura. And I'm not Allura. Lara Croft. As she's there like still like being ushered by Maria, and Carlos just lifts up his hand, his good hand. Now, his mummified hand extends the clawed fingers out. They glow briefly for a little bit greenly, and cut to the camera. Lara Croft, where her satchel seems to just like lift up, open on its own, and her astral globe slowly floating up into the air towards Carlos.
just out of curiosity, how close is Feng to that astral globe?
The one that's just flown. How close would you like to be?
I want to grab it.
You're gonna grab it?
Yeah.
Make a dexterity or an acrobatics. Probably pull up feet.
Pretty much the same.
I'm gonna do a dexterity.
I
In him.
I don't think you're gonna grab it.
I think Chance tripped me up on purpose.
As you're like moving to go reach it, you get body slammed from like a big, bulky ninja that just jumps on top of you and is pinning you to the ground, as well as the rest of the guys react. There's now laser dots floating around all of your bodies. As you look down, there's this little pinprick laser dots. 5 or 6 of them are focused in on your head. You are no place to negotiate. You are mine. You will be witness to what is to become.
You
There is
said
still
I was
need
here
for
to
you left.
negotiate. I was asking for your surrender. Because that's all I'm accepting from you.
Is that right, little man?
Yes, drug addict.
I have something for you. I will accept your surrender, or else. He snaps his finger, and out of the corner, there's like a group of ninja SWAT guys, dragging in one on each side, dragging into view Stacy. Ah, help! And Chance's mother.
Oh, fuck you, Carlos.
Oh, yes. That's what's happening. I have
In
been
my best
planning.
Jar Jar Binks impersonation, me give up.
It is I who holds all the ends. And one more, just to really nail it shut. 5 or 6 of these guys bring in hands behind his back, big, tall Reinhardt. Now sans this body armor, sans his shield, sans his giant helmet. Now you see him like an out of shape bodybuilder in his late 80s. Grayish hair, balding, beard flecked with black and white. A look of defeat on his face as he slowly pushed forward. You could tell his face is bruised, his body where his armor was taken off, barely like a shirt's been ripped, and there's still bandages and bruises all over. We tried to hold him off as long as we could. We were overwhelmed.
Froggy has a good point. Is this an illusion?
Roll me an Arcana
Uh,
check.
Feng's just
Perception
going
check.
to just grin and says, so, you just beaten a bunch of Palor's champions. So what?
27?
There's an object. Your mother. You have your necklace. She has her little necklace as well, with like a little keepsake that's been a little secret between you two. That is the one true sign that you know that this is her. She has it as well. This is no illusion. She doesn't seem hurt. She just seems confused, scared.
Pissed off.
Yeah, and pained.
Mama.
As you see, I have cards. I am in control. I am the puppet master. Every single move that you've made is because I desire it. And his eyes go
Feng's just
bright
going to laugh
white.
again.
I
And Feng's just going to go and say, seriously, you're no puppet I'm sorry, I'm wrong voice. Sorry. You're a puppet master? No, you're the puppet for that thing that you've crafted onto your body. That's what's driving you, nothing else. You're just an addict for the power it gives you.
Yes, it's the hand that is up your butt controlling you. A puppet. Sorry, I'm talking like Feng
And
was trying to talk.
That's you try and try and try. You don't understand. You would never see the strings that are being pulled. Even from the very get-go. From the very get-go, I've been manipulated. Chance. Who do you think let you out of prison? Cut to. Little quick memory. The little crackling old man that was there in your prison cell. He's being handed a piece of food, and he like goes up to it and puts in a little tiny lockpick in between, like just tosses it onto the bread, and you see the guard taking it down afterward towards your cell. I have set everything in motion. His eyes raised wide again. The spirit shards give me the sight, future of all possibilities. There is nothing you can do that I have not already seen happen. I know it all. His eyes go bright white again as like your words seem to have like hit a raw nerve in him. They glow like a bright white but with a green tint underneath it.
you know the future is to be trapped by it.
You know the future.
Even that confused me, but
I don't know. I just don't know the future. I am the master of the future.
the only thing you're the master of is Vader.
He walks
terrible.
slyly over to your mother and lays a human, meaty, beefy hand, his good hand.
Don't touch her, you bastard.
Chance, what's going on? Where am I? Who is this?
This is a deluded man who thinks he can see what's coming.
There is.
I don't reach for a dagger to throw at him. He didn't see that. He did not see that coming.
Maria, Kalters now has the other astral globe, and he's holding he has both astral globes in his hands now, the dark one and bright and the other unmoving one. Carlos says, there's just a few more things that I need. You were brought here on purpose. Guards, get them all, relieve them of their weapons, and prepare them for the journey. We'll be leaving shortly. A squad of them come down again. Late when you look around, they're like you're in a warehouse. There's multiple stories. There's guys in the rafters, guys on the sides. There's milieu of like guys in white coats and others like pushing things around. A couple of different SWAT teams come out to you to relieve
as they approach.
Weapons.
I'm going to cough.
Okay.
And what I'm actually doing is, and the shard going down my throat.
Really?
It'll come out eventually.
Fantastic.
I've done this before.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
I hope it's appropriately sized.
Oh no, it's a 1. Let's try again.
I'm hoping it's appropriately sized because that might be a wee bit painful.
It is. It's tiny.
As you do that, Carlos's eyes flash. And it's halfway down through your throat. And I would like you to roll again with disadvantage.
Well, again.
I don't.
Throat?
Yeah, that's what I was about
What
to
is
say.
18.
Just under 20. Good. All right. As it's going there, like you could see your pain, your mind is you're aware that things are going in reverse order, and the thing is like coming back out again as you spit it out into your hand with a look of confusion, like how the fuck did this just?
Well, even
Okay,
if he rewinded time, it still wouldn't go out into my hand.
This is what's happening, because then
Okay.
afterward he does this thing with his hand, and the shard comes into his little thing. Nice try. Not good enough. Get him. The SWAT ghost continues to try to relieve you guys of weapons and things. Sorry, man, I have to take your shard. It's not happening. However, because you are who you are, I will allow you a sleight of hand with advantage to keep any other things that you want.
Steve's tool is a good idea.
Yes, that might be useful. And maybe a dagger.
With the 29, very much so. And they're taking a few of the daggers, your crossbow bolts, the rocky talkies, your whatever satchel that you normally carry with other stuff, Feng, as well with you. And they're disarming you of the normal stuff, your bow, your staff. And you are the weapon.
Yeah.
Yes, if they have to disarm you, they have to chop off your arm.
I know. I'm. Feng's not going to make the usual retort he's made because he's just going, yeah, I better not give him in his head he's going, I better not give him ideas because this is the sort of sadistic bastard who would actually chop off my arms.
They put you in handcuffs, Earth style American military style not American military, police style handcuffs, just a normal.
The ones that are
handcuffs.
ludicrously easy to pick. Yes.
If they had just grabbed a bunch of Ziplocs, we would have a harder time breaking out of those.
Jericho as well. Your shield, the Halor's sword. They go to reach out to grab it and take it away from you. And you could see they're just they're bundling all together in a very specific a specific crate, as well as they're removing all of Lara's firearms, and
they're broken anyway.
Maria, Carlos grabs one and looks at it. Just look at the amount of power, the amount of effort that they have to use just to use a minuscule amount of power that we have available. Your kind is truly pathetic. And he takes the guns and drops it into the crate. He talks he's talking again to Lara Croft. You are human. I will give you a chance to join us in our new world. You don't have to work with these pathetic, monstrous beings. Lara,
Oh, I meant monstrous.
you're a gnome. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm a halfling.
Look at you. You're a
I'm not a
halfling.
gnome.
You're a halfling. fucking greenish, ugly-looking orc, and you're a
British, actually.
half elf thing with ears. You're all abominations.
You're,
I know-
you're
I know-
prejudiced. You're
and-
prejudiced against little people.
And yeah, we're all half somethings, and all of us especially are half competent.
You know, Carlos, you're half the man that you are now. Now that compared to when we first met you, I mean, you at least had when we first met you, you had both your arms.
Ever since your hand job, I should have worded that differently.
No, I'll continue with that one.
No, that was the. I should word that differently. Was the sarcasm, not the other one.
He pulls his hands on Lara Croft and slowly, and he gets behind her and whispers in her ear in a very creepy fashion.
Don't listen to that creepy.
You see how they are? They can't take things seriously. They are an abomination.
Seriously,
Join
we have
our
to take
side.
you seriously.
Well, see, I may be a halfling, and he's a half orc, and he's a half elf, and you're a half wit.
I think that's actually giving them too much credit.
Quarter wit? That's not really a
No,
saying.
no. He has no wit at all. I mean, he was the left-hand man of Arkin. I mean, at least that guy had some style.
You see how they banter with them themselves? They show their fear, and the only thing they have left is to try to use words to get me.
What
It
fear,
won't work.
boy?
This is a delaying action. Didn't you know? Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have told you.
As you say that, Coulter now has, he speaks up. Carlos, we're ready. We're ready. He shows the astro globe now bright white and starting to spin as well. And Coulter with a little, they both astro globes disappear from view. This is your last chance, Lara. I can use your knowledge. Lara turns around briefly and to face Carlos, and she spits right into his face. Smacks her right across, painfully, loudly. She falls to the ground, holding her face and
How many
almost in
guys are
tears.
holding me?
Hmm?
How many guys are holding me?
Three
Well,
or
you're in
four.
cuffs.
Yeah, I want to actually just see if that's enough guys to actually stop me from charging Carlos.
Oh, roll me strength. The strength, strength or athletics with disadvantage because there's multiple people.
Fair enough.
There's multiple holding on to.
I think strength 12.
Oh no! You try and it's like you just instantly move forward. They kick your knees out from underneath you so that you land on your knees and it's just facing down.
So prison guard tactics. Okay.
As he's saying that, as he sees she's like Lara's now on the ground, just like nearly like in tears, holding back tears, refusing to cry. The camera slowly zooms in on her face as she's like racked and it's just not happening. Carlos stands over. Secure them all. We're moving. And he goes over to the portal one more time. Takes his hand, it glows greenish, bright green. Grabs like this center console thing that's there. And again, all the little runes, boom, 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 illuminate one
So
more
we are
time.
playing Stargate. Okay, good.
Yeah, we are playing Stargate for sure. It opens. The green and yellowish, swirlish flow. One more time, the entire room is bathed in dark green, and his hand is like extended outward, still with the matching green and same pulsing as the portal is the same pulsing that's both going on in his hand and in his eyes. Bring them. Destiny awaits. As a couple of the, as a lot of the crew members that have been there in standby with carts just like start moving that up like this ramp that's built onto the portal and start disappearing one past the other past the other. Carlos leads a few of the guards carrying Stacy, who's there looking around and like, wait a second, I know where we're at. We're in, and he shoves Stacy through the portal as well, followed by Chance's mom. They're like look of confusion and like fear as she's like approaching this thing and doesn't want to get through, and the two guards holding her just move her through anyways. Lara as well. Maria still now like trying to finish up her bandages and getting dress a few of her ninja people, followed by Jericho, Feng, and Chance, unless there's anything last minute shenanigans that you'd like to try to attempt.
Are they literally letting us go and shoving us through, or are they taking us through?
There's a guard on each hand. There's all of you have handcuffs behind your back. There's a guard on their left, a guard on your right, kind of like doing that whole thing where they hold you by the arm, escorting you through.
Okay, because I thought they were letting us go and then
freely
shoving
walk.
us through. Okay.
They're being very careful.
I
You
think
guys are dangerous,
Mm.
and even though Carlos has overconfidence,
I think things acted up too much that they're literally doing the Hannibal escort routine. They've literally got every single restraint that they can put onto Feng.
yes,
now,
I mean, plus you're a big guy, and because of your visage, and these are all humans from Earth, they're very scared, and I mean, you're literally like a wild animal. You're like Jurassic Park, that scene with in the beginning in a cage where all those guys are poking and prodding. That's how you appear to them. The level of danger that you present to them.
Yeah, I'm giving them nice big, before they start finding that muzzle big enough for me. It's like I'm giving them the biggest, toofiest grin and going, get close enough. I'll show you what I can do.
Oh, intimidate them, please.
And I look like Peter Dinklage to them.
Damn it.
As you start like baring your teeth at them and like starting to growl, they have this shock prod that they just touch up against you.
Yeah, I think the scream, the grunt of agony
yes,
just ruins the growl.
This is a pain you've not felt ever before. This is like a burning electrical sensation. Your every cell in your upper chest is racked in agony as it's both petrifies you without being able to move, and it just the sense of panic, unable to breathe. You could feel your heart not moving, and throughout this entire thing is just a electrical pain that reaches from your chest all the way to the ends of your fingertips and toes. And just as quickly as this pain hits, it's recited, and your breath starts back, and your beating heart just boom, 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 and then you're shoved through the portal once again, leaving Jericho and Coulter next to each other as he's slowly, helping guiding the last couple of guards with Jericho next to him on his side. Destiny awaits us.
But
Anything you'd
not
like to
their
say
baby.
before?
But not their baby, Destiny's child.
Not Destiny's child.
Destiny is what we make of it. For tomorrow never dies.
Only that was true. Pushes you forward. The rest of the guards push you forward. He steps forward. Carlos is the last one. Carlos is one of the last few there. There's still like personnel there. There's a plethora of computers and screen files and stuff. He turns back. Professor, we have everything ready to go on our side. This kind of white rock suit, the board and glasses. Yes, everything is ready to go, just as you have said. We are prepared. Good.
That's easy.
He steps through. The portal closes. The screen cut to the scientist that was still talking, turns around and looks at the screen, and on a TV screen there is a sort of grainy, terrible shot of like it's dark, mountainous in the background. Actually, exactly what is your guys' background is showing on the back of this TV screen. There's like buzzings, those little lines, that analog lines from old timey TVs that show up. And as the camera is slowly zooming into that picture, where it's a screen, it transitions to real life, which is where you step forward into the picture, and you're now at this new location. It is dark. It is cold. You are in, according to the map, you're in the Neverfields. Way, way, way north. Just right next to the Osmit Sea. It's cold. It's cold. It's snowy. When you step through that same sense of nausea, time warpness, of being from one plane for the other, that constant hum, electric buzz that's been going on in the background completely disappears, and you have this warm, neutral sense again of peacefulness. You're back in Exandria, in the proper realm. But as you look around the mountainscapes around, the air is abuzz with possibility and magic. Raw, raw, dark, wild, wild magic.
The air is alive with the sound of magic.
Indeed. Let me describe a little bit scene again as like you as Chance, Feng, and Jericho are, you're cut to reaction shots of all of your faces as you're looking around at where you're at. Then cut to the camera, showing what you're seeing. It is nighttime, it's dark, and mountain time snowy. However, there is an entire football field length soccer field length football. I said it.
Same thing.
Yes. Of it's plain, it's been it's flat, semi even ground. The snow has been covered. There's nice material, walking material on the ground. There's machinery, strange, exotic machines, very similar to the ones from the warehouse that you had seen. The audience would recognize computer consoles, things with bleeping lights, monitors, round things, cables strewn everywhere, like big fat mechanical cables everywhere. Different junctures, there is like a sort of loud machine spewing smoke with all these like runes glowing, um, generators of some sort creating electricity, floodlights, floodlights everywhere, illuminating the entire scene. Behind in the background, there's that sort of like a bluish glow as if raw magic is seeping from the ground itself. Different areas of the ground, you'll see like little cracks or fissures where the snow and like this sort of steam is coming out, but it's not melting. It's more like a magical steam escaping from the ground itself. Laura instantly recognizes Sarah. This is a Neverfields. This area is wrecked with wild magic. What are you planning on doing here? As you guys are being led into spots, and he starts, uh, pointing everything. The guards are directing you to like these little pole areas, like these little structures that are jutting out of the ground, like columns. They put you close to there, and they handcuff you, or at least put you with your back so that your back's on a column, seeing everything that's in front of you, as well as there you see, you're positioned. Chance right next to your right is your mother. There's Stacy, and then there's Reinhardt. All of you, but um, secured to one of these columns, one of multiple columns that are like jutting out of the ground at odd different angles. You're secured in place so that they don't have to worry about you, as well as there's guards there. Cut back to uh, uh, Lara looking around and wonder, why here? What's going on? And Carla steps forward. I suppose this is the time for the traditional bad guy monologue and tell you how screwed you really are. The Neverfields.
Go ahead.
The wild magics that were fought here by the has weakened this area. Here, there's the thinnest spots between realms. My world is dying. Our advanced magics slowly killing where we live. Archon the Cruel was unsuccessful in killing off the population. We're too many. We've grown too quick. Our world is dying. Our only chance of survival is somewhere new. Somewhere where untapped potential. Somewhere like Exandria. His eyes glow bright and white again. He points to like sort of chasm, like where there's a lot of everywhere on the ground where there's like the little rising light or steam or something, kind of like how you see in the background, like a column of light and steam rising up. Wherever there's spots like that on the ground, you could see like this metal contraption, almost like a generator, and it's loud and buzzing. And attached to it as well is like a crystal shards about the size of a fist. There's maybe 8. There's exactly eight of them placed around in like a line, like racked line, and where each of and they're not evenly spaced. Like some are 10, some are 40, some of them are 50 or 60 feet apart. But everywhere they're placed next to one of those junctures. I plan on breaking the seal open, allowing the Earth realm come into this realm.
We're in the north and he's a seal killer? Oh no.
Sorry. That was good.
I'm going to give you disadvantage on your next roll for that.
Okay, damn. I got to do something that isn't going to kill me if I try and do it. I'm going to try and throw my voice over there so it sounds like I'm talking to him. Oh, I have disadvantage. Yay.
Laura is saying, you can't do this. You'll never get away with it. She starts now recognizing all of like the runish and all of the runes and symbology and the location and the history of it. In fact, Jericho and Feng, and actually all of you, you could either roll me some Arcana or some history to find out some more lore about this area that may help you.
I'm equally
21.
pathetic at both.
Yeah.
I actually did a research for this in my paladin school.
Minus
Natural
2 and you
20.
still rolled a 20. Wow. Oh, I have disadvantage, so I only get a 9.
Oh, there you go. All right, fine. That's where your disadvantage went.
There we go. Got that out of the way. Sneaky, huh?
Cut to as he like still exposition and your memories, and this is interlaced with the history books and your guys' room, even possibly even voiceover on your side, or a voiceover of a teacher explaining to you things. Back in the Mage Wars, this is one of the main spots where the actually pre the Mage Wars, one of the original calamities during the Foundling, when it was the gods versus the betrayer gods versus the helpful gods. There is you start recognizing, Jericho, the symbology around the crab symbology. It sparks in your mind that this is where the mages fought. This is one of the battlegrounds where the mages had one of the big fights against the betrayer gods, and as well as where the gods themselves fought one of the main gods themselves. This area is racked with strange, wild magics. It is always in flux. This area, it's like in modern terms, as if this is the area where all the nukes fell and laid waste to everything. It's pure radioactive wasteland, but it's magical radioactive wasteland. And everybody has been warned, do not stay here. Magic, teleportations will be randomized. Any spells will probably be wild spells. In particular, the symbol that you start recognizing, the arcane things, it starts clicking in your brains that these are a weak point in the chain that's binding this realm versus another realm, and these chains are have been meant to keep something closed. You know, almost like a fracture in the land or in the realm where there's just sutures, magical sutures, preventing this area from cracking opening again. And Carlos is still with his exposition. I plan to break the chain. Allow the realms intercede once again. We will find our new world here. This will be our safety. These pathetic, monstrous abominations survive there.
No, Carlos, I'm starting to get annoyed with you calling me pathetic because I think you're just projecting your own inadequacies onto myself.
Carlos starts moving.
And you're the invader here anyway. We're from here. You're not.
You are weak. The weak are meat, and the strong shall eat. As with all imperialistic tendencies.
Did you get that from a fortune cookie?
You are unsophisticated native animals, half bred with the dominant humans.
You're the only one using a prosthetic.
Belong to the most powerful wizard of its time. The one human here that ascended towards godhood.
Are you sure that they were human?
Have his power. I will bring the new realm. I will be the savior of Earth, of humanity. We will conquer this area. All abominations that are here will be wiped off the face of this realm. All that remains new human world order.
They have gone full Nazi. Okay.
Yeah, Carlos, Carlos, just admit it. You do not give a damn about humanity. You just want finally be on top of the dog pile. Because you've always been at the bottom. You were at the bottom in your little gang. You were at the bottom when you worked under Archon. And due to a little fluke and fate, you got that arm. That's it. That's all your power. It's just a random roll of the dice.
By the way, Carlos, actual Carlos, not the one we're talking to. Let me know the next time.
Director Santana.
Director Santana. Oh, Director Santana, question. Let me know next time. Why am I talking like that?
I want to know my motivation for the
time
scene.
Carlos is distracted by either one of these other guys, or he's going on about, oh, and over there is the blah blah, and this is the blah blah, and whatever.
What would you
Next
like
time
to
he's
do?
distracted. I'd like to remove my cuffs, but not take my hands out from behind my back.
During this monologue, it's fine. We could do it. Why don't you pre-roll for me, and then at one point I'll say the camera cuts to, and then we'll let you roll.
So how do I pre-roll for you? What?
I don't know about pre-roll. How about I'll let you know, and then
Okay.
we'll do the cut to.
Yeah.
But yes, I will keep that in mind shortly.
Okay.
Because that'll be cool. That'll be cool. We'll see how that goes. I was interrupted. Feng was talking some shit. Go ahead.
Yes.
What were you?
Yes, I was.
It wasn't fluke. It was destiny.
And for that,
I have wit.
and
I
to
have
make
worked
humans great, you decided to wield the hand of a half elf.
Vecna, pure human. 100% human.
No. Half elf.
Your lies. You lie. You
know
pitiful
jack
calf.
shit about this world. You know jack shit about magic and what you're doing. You're an egomaniac drug addict on a power trip. And you still smell of shit from the gutter you came from.
And your ears are actually pointier than they were when we first met.
Oh yeah, I wasn't wanting to mention that to him.
You think you're the only ones that try to get the rise out of it. That was Archon's problem. That's what's
No.
everybody, other rulers' problems is.
Maria tries to get a rise out of you.
They
Actually,
try.
Maria, how is His Highness doing down there? You know,
she's ignoring you completely. She's like setting up things in the distance. She's
see, he hasn't got any time for you.
He was willing to sacrifice you in the cavern.
with that. Roll me a persuasion check.
Which
or an
one of us?
intimidation check.
Which one of
Chance.
us?
That struck her. That hit a chord. Like she's like, you see her like pause in what she's doing. He looks back at you. I will have fun killing this one. Not yet. Don't let them rile you up. We are in control. What did I teach you, Maria? Master your emotions. You'll master the world. It's true. I came from nothing. Grew up dirt poor in a land.
You
where
are
there was-
still nothing.
Oh
Carlos.
no. I am the master of the world.
You're the
I
puppet
control
of a
vast
hand.
armies. I control fate. Governments are at my... I secretly control governments. I pay them off.
Carlos, if you had that control, why not fix your world?
You tried. Until
No, you
you
don't have
came
the power.
and stopped it. We had a plan. wipe off exactly half of humanity,
Thanos.
leave enough resources for the rest. You interrupted that plan. So now, rather than cut our world in half, we'll just take over yours. And with these new magics, invading this new world, you are primitive. You will have no choice but to surrender. We will cut through you like a hot knife through butter.
You're the biggest fool I've ever met, Carlos. I'm a adherent of Tempest. We surrender when we are killed, and only by that. So bring your armies, and I will wreak hell on them.
Roman persuasion with advantage.
Dude.
Damn.
He like rushes up close to you. Here's your cut to. Face up, right up to her, right up to him. You will be one of the. I will leave you alive to witness the glory and your downfall. You will be one of the last. His like you can see now his anger is starting to come in. Chance, cut to as he's trying to.
distracted.
Absolutely.
Sleight of hand or thieves' tools?
Whichever is better, whichever you prefer. You're technically using both to relieve yourself from these handcuffs, I'm assuming?
Well, there's only two different. 1921,
Like
3 years
nothing.
after World War II.
That's good enough. I mean, the camera cuts to you doing this thing. Camera cuts back to Carlos. In your face. Everything that you try, you will see people die.
I'm going to headbutt him.
Zandrid die. Iman die. Allura's the last one.
Question.
She doesn't
How
even
close
know
is he?
where you're at.
Headbutt him?
Yeah, because I want to headbutt him if he's close enough.
Yes, do it.
An arm strike, I think.
Disadvantage because obviously you're restrained and shit.
15.
We're gonna say this hits only because it's one of those cool moments.
Yeah. And then
Stunning fist.
Stunning faced.
Actually, I'm going to put a key point into Stunning Strike. There.
Flurry of nose?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
I like that one, actually.
That's really good, bro. I mean, that's a highlight. That's one of the best ones right there. Flurry of nose. Oh my god.
Go for the
Yes.
eyes, Boo! Go for the
No.
eyes!
I'm aiming the nose both at those. No, you have to succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or you're stunned.
I don't even know how to. I don't think I have a character card for Carlos here.
Just roll a raw d20 and decide on that. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't need to
Wait,
tell us your
wisdom?
stats.
Oh, wisdom is good.
What?
Constitution.
Constitution.
Constitution. That's pretty
Well,
good,
right
too.
now, given all the roids he's on, his con is probably like
Yeah.
through the
2 million or something.
Yeah, okay.
18.
Yeah, that's pass.
You could see his eyes like narrow. His eyes grow bright white and then greenish.
That's your fault for getting too
as,
close to
and
him.
just as quickly, Coulter says, "Carlos, no, we're ready." He hits you anyways, right in the stomach. Let's just do it for fun. Same roll. 15. Oh, with advantage because
Yeah,
you're
I was
tied
about
up.
to say.
Same.
Okay, 15.
So what happens is, you know that old trick that Houdini used to do, like he pumps his stomach out so it's just rock solid.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Feng does, and he just goes, and it's just as Horace feels it. You just see this shit-eating grin that Feng's just been doing this entire time, just grow even wider. And he goes, feels like you're hitting solid wall. Yes.
Yes, but I tell you what, I know a better way. And he looks over at Stacy. He lifts his finger, and you see a black like ray just hit Stacy fully in the chest as she's there in the on the column, and her eyes glow bright white as she's or bright glow big as she sees what's coming, and this black dark energy just hits her square in the chest, illuminates the whole entire area, and it's tinted with green, and she screams out in vicious pain as she's like almost like slumps down. She's still chained up against the column, but she's like slumps down and goes down a couple 2 or 3 feet as it's just hitting her, and her eyes open up again as she's just screaming, "Stop! Stop!"
And Feng just turns that shit-eating green. Sorry, that shit-eating grin is gone.
I'll have time to toy with you later. Coulter, how are we doing? Coulter has like a smile on his face as he says everything's in place. You see now he's placed one of the white astro globe on one far side of this line, the black astro globe on the other side of this line, and he says, "This
Feng is just going to shout out. He's just going to go, Coulter, my dear man. When was the last time that you were fully human?" Because he's talking about
500 years ago.
So what do you think happens to the vampires after he brings all his humans? Because he can't have you here eating up his children and his soldiers.
Roll me
Here-
one last persuasion.
If this rolls a 10 or under, god damn it.
His eyes stop glowing white, and he's looking. And then it's this for a brief second, like you've gone through to him. Brief second, the briefest of seconds. And he shakes his head. I have plans of my own. I have plans of my own. Carlos, let's get this over with, so that I could get what I was promised. Yes. He turns his back on all of you. Witness! We have finally achieved what we've been waiting for. 5 years of planning culminates in this one moment. You will all be witness to the greatness that is humanity. This is the first step, the first giant step of mankind into a new world. He takes his fist, black and his like shriveled green fist. Now, from this moment on, it is a time of the human. And he slams his fist into the ground, radiating a ripple effect of greenish crackling. The ground seems to like break, and as it like these electric tendrils of green energy hit this like sort of like line that's been created with all the spirit shards connected by wires with LEDs, and we're spending all of the special effects. You know, all of the shards turn bright green, greenish light. What
I'm
was
g-
nice, what was
I'm
nice
gonna
and blue.
regret this. I know I'm gonna regret this. But is there a spot that looks like there's any weak link that could possibly sever the line of all this power?
Roll me a perception check. Or an
I-
arcana check. And
I'm-
Jericho wants to know something too.
I want to analyze this magic to see where I can throw a dispel magic at.
Also, for anyone keeping track, you will have noticed that we have spent over three or four times our budget on special effects on this show, on this episode. This is why we need you to go into Patreon, folks, because
Yeah,
we need that increased budget.
Oh,
yeah, because Santa
100%.
is just blowing it all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ah.
we've gone over
I
budget.
was
3
told I had
times.
free creative control.
Yeah, but not budget control.
Listen, it's in my contract. We'll expand this. I'll start selling off to a couple markets. You don't want me to pull in funding from the other guys. Trust me, those guys are.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Oh, you mean
expand.
Cola?
we're gonna have-
Unfortunately,
We're
I
not
think I
meant
might
to
have
mention them.
succeeded.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
we're gonna
Froggy
have,
says less special effects, more writing. Have you met me? Anyways, with that look, there's not really a good weak spot. I mean, yeah, with that look, you see that the actual the generators, all 8 of the generators are weak point. This is what's letting this happen. It's like almost like a, I don't know how can I put it, like a barrel sized thing. Dais. It's a gas powered or electronics powered generator, probably an internal battery. It's hooked up with, right on the top of it is the spirit shards, and they've all been glowing nicely bright white. And where they're next to those fissures on the ground that are bleeding, that are evaporating raw magic, kind of bluish purplish magic, that's where they all start turning bright green. The entire room starts turning green, and then
So does
red.
it look like if I take out one of the generators, it might like cause a chain reaction? Or would it just, does it look like
You, with that roll perception, you get the absolute sense that you need to destroy them, all of them, one at a time. There's no one quick weak spot will disable the entire thing. It will be a challenge to break each one apart. Just very
I'm not
similar.
going to get 8 rounds, so my plan isn't going to work.
But you can file that for the future because it may or may not pay off. You get I mean, you could even whisper to the exposition like, we need to destroy, like you could whisper the exposition to the rest of the guys.
We need to destroy the generators.
There you go.
That's what's powering this shit. I could get 1, maybe 2, but they'd overpower me too quick.
The
I
green
rolled Arcana to confirm this statement, but
yeah, unknown. What he says seems true and very likely. He's punching the ground and it's turning green. All of the 8 lights, the shards, they're turning greenish light, and then
can you get me free?
slowly they start turning red, and the entire area is illuminated now in full red light. As Carlos is just there, standing up, his hand now, the green hand of Vecna, is now turning a full red. Kaltor's eyes he's there as well. His eyes are, I'll be with you in a second, almost all red as well. His eyes are starting to red, and his look of like satisfaction and joy and glee are happening. Cut to Jericho. You got a question or a statement?
I am going to try and flex myself out of these manacles.
Roll
My-
me.
My
Athletics.
answer to you, by the way, is if I can get to you, yes.
But since you didn't answer early enough, I'm just
Okay.
gonna try and use brute force to solve my problem.
Right now, Carlos is full distracted, looking at this. Everybody, all of the soldiers, are just looking at this glory, and they've been trained. These are hardened men. They've been trained for this, even though they're in an outside realm. It's really good, really good. Feng, you want to try the same thing?
All right, let's give it a shot. Athletics.
You can use acrobatics because you can slip from them.
Ooh. Right, acrobatics. Ooh, maybe not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
We'll cut to you guys here in a second. The earth seems to be almost like rumbling. The music intensifies into one of those orchestra, like a choral orchestra of like a.
Did he bring an orchestra with him?
No. We're talking. We hired John Williams. Actually, we
Okay.
copied John
John
Williams. We
Williams.
copied Fate, Duel of the Fates. Not quite Duel of the Fates, but you could tell that it's inspired. The music is inspired by Duel of the Fates. Right.
Duel of
As
the Fights.
the chorus, people like rising.
No.
It's all very evil and demonic sounding as this whole area is now flooded with like reddish light. The right along where the wires and all this line of thing is, and by the way, this line of is a good football length from one side to side. Cracks start appearing there in like a circular thing, and it continues around and around and around until this giant crack happens on the ground and just falls through, revealing below like a giant steam of light and smoke and magical energy opens up from this fissure on the ground where this crack is happening. The camera and behind Carlos stands around, bathed behind them by this reverse waterfall of magical reddish steam energy. It's happening. It's happening. And then then as he turns around, the as he's turning around, it opens up. This fissure opens up, and he looks, and the steam stops, and the loud cracking sound is going everywhere. The earth is rumbling. The cameras are all shaking. The camera zooms in to see into this new hole that's been happening, and Carlos says, "Soon, Earth will come into the earth will invade into this realm." And he steps towards a precipice, towards the edge, and peers through. The camera does this over the view shot to see what's happening. Inky darkness, spotted with stars. There's in the far distance, there seems to be like this strange round thing. And because the camera point of view makes it almost clear that we're looking into a spot in space, outer space. There's like a round thing, very similar to like a planet. And from behind the planet, there's these like tentacles wrapping around it. And this thing pops over from the planet's point of view. It's a greenish, bluish looking planetoid, except that it seems different, almost drained, almost like a crack in half. And these tentacles start revealing themselves as this creature pops out from behind the planet, crawling itself over. And I'm talking, this creature is the size of a planet. And it's getting bigger and bigger as this portal in space is breaking up, opening more and more and more. The camera focuses in more to reveal this entity. It's like a squid with long, long tentacle arms. 12 of them with serrated, with at the ends of them serrated looking claws and eyes as well as teeth. It's almost like this gigantic squid. No, not claws and teeth. They are
Pincers.
pincers, the claw pincers. Yes, the claw pincers. As this creature it revolves around, and you can see like the earth revolves around it. You can see this squid-like entity has been leached onto it. That squid-like entity has been leeching onto it, sucking its life force. As it separates itself from it, it looks at the camera and starts moving that way, revealing it in its entirety as it's getting closer and closer to the camera view. Rows and rows and rows of teeth, all rotating in opposite directions. This way, that way, this way. At least 4 or 5 sets of teeth. Circular thing like this, reverse drill with 12 of these long tentacle arms like a giant squid. If you can imagine Cthulhu mixed with a giant squid, mixed with a crab, and its entire carapace is crab-like in nature. Within, around his massive mouth, there's all these little feeler arms that are like helping guide stuff in, just like a crab's little mouth would. And these pinchers are coming closer, closer, and closer to the screen as a look of surprise and wonder is on Carlos's face. What is that? What is that?
Rector Carlos.
Cut to. Go ahead.
Oh. Shit. Gotta mute
We'll take a
myself.
pause here for a second. Oh yeah.
It's a bullet. Ah! It's the Aether of the world.
Did they call you about your car warranty again?
Yeah, I don't have a car. What I was going to say was, while everybody is distracted looking at this shit going on, is there a guard near me that has a long-range walkie-talkie?
I'm going to say maybe. What would you like to do? I'm going to say yes because
Basically, what I want to do is sneak up, grab the walkie-talkie, and send a message to Allura telling her where we are.
your guys' walkie-talkies, however, all of your gear.
Yeah, all of our gear's gone.
I'd like for that to happen. You actually see where the gear is. It's in a crate on a couple spots. I don't know that the walkie-talkie is. Yes, I'm going to say yes to this.
And it's not going to work. Okay.
Grab this. No. I want this to
Okay.
work. Grab this
Okay.
walkie-talkie
Yeah.
while everybody's distraction. The camera cuts to you like flipping out of your buns, and everybody's like facing this thing. I mean, this is the moment that everybody's been waiting for. You guys are an afterthought. You reach out without roll me a sleight of hand, because that's a possibility. It's above 13. I'm gonna say yes. His passive perception is like a 10 probably. Do your thing. You grab it, and unbeknownst to everybody, you quickly go back to the thing so that everybody knows that whatever. What would you like to say while all this is happening?
I'd like to send a message to Allura and say, Allura, we're in the Neverfields. Carlos is summoning some giant squid to bring all the humans from Earth here. And I described the plain, the flat plain and the mountains around us. That's basically what I want to.
Show me, roll me an Arcana check to make sure that you're able to dial in correctly.
Oh my god, this fucking Arcana. I'm going to use a reroll because that sucked. That's a little better.
I'm gonna use a reroll.
Unknown. But the camera, like you're just like talking into it, and you're waiting for a response as
Actually, no, I'm not waiting for a response. I'm putting it behind my back.
You're just putting it behind your back.
Yeah.
The camera cuts to it as there's just dead silence and nothing's happening. Even like there's this little light indicator that's just constantly green, and then it starts like blinking and pulsing back, and you hear some voices. Like there's some muffled voices coming from it, possibly response. But while that happens, the camera cuts to like a distraction of Carlos backing away in horror, as from out of this chasm, this claw grabs out of the ground, and this claw alone is huge and massive. It's big tentacle thing with these crab-like pinchers at the end. Sweeps up and grabs Carlos completely fully, like his entire. He looks like a little miniature figurine, like this big, or like as if you've ever seen King Kong, where King Kong grabs the girl, it's like that. And this is just one of its claws. What is this? What? And Kaltor is there with his eyes glowing greenish and reddish. This is the Chained Oblivion. And this thing is just coming up. You hear this evil, like screeching sound, like an elephant going off in the distance, except it reverberates. The mountains in the background shake, and this voice, the mountains in the background shake, dropping snow. The voice appears, you hear nothing but pure ear-piercing sound, but in your brains you get flashes of communication. Jericho, because earlier you had rolled me such amazing history. I'm sorry, such good arcanum. Actually, let's do this one more time. Why don't Jericho and Feng and Chance roll me either a history or an arcanum or a religion. Any one of those three.
Equally pathetic at all of them.
24.
24.
Oh, God. Yeah.
All right, so these Jericho, we're zooming in on your face as this recognition, as this strange images and almost like are putting you through, and you hear the voiceovers of your teacher. In this case, it'd be Reinhardt's voice, as this creature is trying to communicate in flashes of vision its history. The voiceover that's narrating for the audience is Reinhardt's voice, ringing onto you as a little, in the ancient days, before the gods were named by the humans, they were known as Cancer. The eater of worlds was the worst of them. Gemini sacrificed him and herself in order to bind and lock away Cancer from the world. In doing so, Gemini was split in two. Luna sacrificed herself, and Sol, her brother, stayed behind to make sure that the land was saved. You know Sol as a sun god, as Palor, and Luna. The only thing left is her lifeless husk of her body that you see as a two silvery moon. Her sacrifices ensure that Cancer is locked away forever. He must never return. He is the eater of worlds, destroyer of all. And you're seeing like these images of like Cthulhu monstrous. The Gemini, or these two, the two godly beings, a man and a woman. The woman transforms herself into like a sharp lance, very reminiscent of the of pure light, almost like the light of the crystal shards. And Reinhardt's voice continues. I took the body and lance in the shape of a lance of lights and pure magic, struck it deep to wound cancer, making him weak enough for us to banish him and lock him away. That is why now he is known as the Chained Oblivion. As these images and as things are happening, you can see like the lance hitting this creature, and it's like all of these, it breaks apart into hundreds of little pieces as this creature is just driven back into pure darkness. And then this magical essence seals up and locks it into place. That imagery fades, the TV fades, and now where it stood is now an exact same replica of where we are now. But now the ground that split is open, and coming out of it is this big long tentacle with Carlos being held aloft. And this look of absolute horror as it just crush is him, destroys him and pulls him into this to the void. Maria, just from a far distance, no, and starts running towards the chasm as another tentacle starts coming up again. Panic sets in everywhere as all of the men in lab coats running all the machinery are panicking. Instruments are freaking out. They're sparking off and blowing up. The generators with the spirit shards that are all now glowing bright red seems to be like crackling with energy and overpowering all these like arcane electrical thing is running through them. The ground is still like is growing bigger and bigger and bigger as one more of these like tentacles are like starting to reach out and like flashing around, grabbing handfuls at a time of these soldiers, as many of them are just like pulling out their weaponry, firing blindly at it. Complete destruction. Cut to the camera pulls through and revealing all of you up on this pillar looking at this thing. Camera cuts to a different angle, highlighting each of you individually. What would you like? What's going on?
I'm going to, as quickly as I can, go to. I know normally I go to my mother first, but she's not going to be any use for that. I'm gonna.
She's
I'm gonna
fainted,
go.
by the way. She has fainted.
Okay.
She's like.
She's probably safer off being chained to a pillar than she is out in the middle. I'm going to go to Jericho and Feng and use the dagger to basically break their manacles.
Feng is good. Jericho, with that roll, he's just like on the verge of like breaking apart his handcuffs. Because I mean, you're a buff dude, and they're just steel handcuffs. But yes, you're able, between all of you, you're able to free each other.
Okay, and I'm going to say, grab your shit and break the generators as fast as you can.
As that's happening, one of those big claws hits into the ground in front of you. And it pulls out, and it's just like this massive, big rock, crab-like claw that's just flailing around, and it has eyes, and it in the very center of it is a tooth, like a toothy
maw
as well. And it looks around and just does this elephant style roar one more time as it moves towards the camera. inky blackness. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
So can you explain elephant going off in the distance?
The elephant scream sound. It's whenever it screams, because in Jurassic Park, how they made the sound of the Tyrannosaurus Rex is they combined a hippopotamus and an elephant's scream. And
okay, that's
so
not how I interpreted what you said. Okay.
Yeah. We're it's the sound that Cthulhu, literally Cthulhu, is fucking making. We have unleashed Cthulhu. Carlos thought he was going to break into the realm, Earth realm.
No, it was the realm that's going to break him. Or did break him.
Literally.
I said he knew jack shit about magic, but he never listened to me.
That's because you're a douche.
So
he started.
Be prepared to fight Cthulhu next time you come around.
All right, so hold on. So what Director Santana is meaning is we're not going to be playing D&D next week. We're playing Call of Cthulhu. Is it 7th edition? And as you all know, if you're fighting Cthulhu in Call of Cthulhu, you lose. It's all about not fighting them directly. It's about averting the ritual. I'm not sure if we've actually done that or if there's an opportunity. We'll find out. So people, thing to remember about Call of Cthulhu, check hidden is your key stat you need to put in, else you can't find shit.
Yes. And Froggy, thank you. I hope you liked Gemini and Cancer. In my lore, the original astrologies were all gods, and Cancer is obviously the worst one. Cancer sucks. I will always make Cancer the big bad, no matter what. But in this case, Cancer is Cthulhu with the claw. What we've turned it down into like a crab, a simple, nice-looking crab. No, the original Cancer was this Cthulhu monstrosity. Cthulhu meets a crab, meets a squid, meets eldritch horror. And yes, Gemini was the brother and sister, the lovers.
The brother and sister lovers? What?
The brother, they're gods, man. They could fucking they're
Egyptian.
That's not how that works, They're brother and sister, and they're lovers, and they're man
Froggy,
and wife. And
me too. I'm a Gemini as well.
Oh well, there you go. But because they're twins,
I'm not.
The ultimate sacrifice had to be made where they split the two apart, and individually they're known as Sol and Luna, or the moon goddess and sun goddess, which later on, as religions changed, eons later, they're now known as Pelor and something else, although Luna's technically partially dead, or spirit. She sacrificed her body and spirit to attack and take him down, which led to all the spirit shards and all the magics of the land, and the only remaining husk is the 2 twin moons as a remainder, or so the legend goes. I mean, that's as much as Jericho's history taught you.
As I said in the chat, Luna's got 2 big balls.
Yes, now I understand the reference. Yes. I hope you all enjoyed that.
I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I'm going to hate looking over the budget overfalls for this episode.
Well, but
we're gonna have a talk about you and the budget before the next episode.
Listen, the next big scene is coming. I need all of the I've already got a team of CGI people there. I mean, this is the big block. This is gonna make millions once we release this in theaters. Trust me.
The millions later are not gonna help us if we are bankrupt before the next episode.
I'll talk to the people I didn't want to talk to. Get some side money, They're just don't ask where I get this money from. We just got to return, pay them back within a year. And
Director I got
markets
action. Okay.
I got markets lined up in China, most of the European Union, of the UK, most of the big countries. China themselves is going to be a big market. Don't worry, we'll be fine.
Will they even show Cthulhu in China? I don't know.
They eat everything else. Sorry, I get that.
I need the big budget for this next scene. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Everything's going to. We'll see. I'll get us some. I'll get us some funding for it. For you in the audience, we will definitely appreciate. Like some extra. I'm not the money guy. What do we need? So share, subscribe, like, go to our Patreon page.
Hey, I already gifted a sub today. Come on, it's your turn.
Anywho.
Well, that was one wild ride.
That was one wild ride, man. You guys were really pushing Carlos's button.
Yeah, of course. I was trying to avoid this.
And to Froggy, I'm sorry I was so quiet this episode. That's because I got my corona shot yesterday. I'm double shot now. And it's just made me this hella tired. Yeah, I know, another excuse for me being tired. But yeah, I'm double shot and I've slept like 15 hours a day or something along those lines. Like today. Well, okay, it's yesterday now, but I got 23 more hours to sleep now, so yay.
I was just checking who was users in chat, and I'm going, friend request me?
No, thanks.
Cloistering? Chat fantastic? Serveress? And sub orders. Ooh.
I could go for a sub right now. I'm so hungry.
Froggy says he was sure I was going to kill Laura. I thought about it. It was this close. If these guys would have pushed a little bit more. I mean, I had, for every time they fuck with me, I'm like, all right, I'll just stab some Stacy or Laura or Chance's mom. What'd you think about that when I brought her into this?
I was pissed.
Yes, very much so.
I would have chucked the dagger at something earlier if she wasn't there. But.
Yes, fantastic. That's because of as a DM, because of the chaotic and blah blah blah, and as is want of not, it's like players want to fuck with the bad guy. It's very important that the bad guy can fuck with them back. Just like, oh, you want to fuck with me? But I hurt the thing that you really, really love. Click, click, click. Plus, it makes an even more bad guy.
I was actually going to ask him if he was the one who originally set me up.
That could have been a very good question to ask. That would have been a fantastic question.
It also gives everyone a reason to get into the fight.
Yes. It's trope, but effective. And it's just what I do. If it's trope but effective, I'll use it.
Because it's the old argument of, I'm not going to write. It's like the old cliche for D&D origins. Oh, I'm an orphan. So that there's nothing for the DM to use against you. But the issue is, if you're an orphan, you're a loner, what's your motivation for being in this story as a character? Why are you getting involved?
There's the other thing is you make them a likable character, and then there's your non-combat thing that I could use against you.
As soon as Zimmy left, I thought now he's gonna make Calter the big.
Of course that's what's gonna happen. Of course. But no, I'm actually put him in here that obviously still control easily. That's why I had you guys roll persuasion checks, because he's on the fence.
Yeah, but the thing
what's going to happen? What's going to happen
like
now
he was
that
being persuaded by the hand of Vecna, not giant squid from outer space.
Maybe it's all in the same. Giant squid from outer space is the guy whose his whole goal is just fucking release me. Anyway, this has been 1,000 years of planning just to get the fuck out of this hole in the ground. Vecna, that was him. Culture, that's him also. All these big little plans are all from the squid. Or so we think, I don't know. It's up to canon. That's the way I see it, though. I think Squidhead or Cthulhu is the one that's been whispering all this just to get this ultimate plan going. He is the true puppet master.
So does that mean that he's the dog in Burnlands that I've been listening to? He's the puppet. Sorry, you said voices in head, and that brought that to mind.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll have to ask John that. Wonder if my message got through.
We'll find out in the next episode of Burnlands.
Allura's going to get my message in Burnlands? What?
Yes. I guess we'll find out. Ooh, that'll be an interesting way for me. We'll figure it out. Usually all these things, like during the week, the ideas of what's gonna come next come to me.
You know,
all I know is there's a big battle coming up.
Yeah.
You guys are fighting Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Be prepared for that shit. Oh, and I level you up one last.
one slight issue. Where are we going to get the rest to get the benefits of the level up?
Here's the thing, because the spirit shard, he inhaled the spirit shard there in your presence, and you all are linked. That's why you've also been like growing up bigger as well. You know, growing more and more because he's been
on and on the ball. All them
roids. He gets that secondhand roid.
Secondhand roid.
Secondhand roid rage for the one.
Secondhand Siegfried and roid.
Ooh, good one.
Oh, it's a shame.
What would, let's see. How fun would it be to put you guys at level 10 fighting Cthulhu? Does the audience, we're gonna, only if I get the budget that I want.
Listen, you can't hold the budget over my head.
If we get some donations happening, then we'll level up to level 10. There it is, folks. There it is. Don't negotiate with terrorists. Anyways, I had a lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
Okay, guys. Until next week, we shall meet on next Saturday and then on Sunday.
Yes, super.
There was going to be something happening on Friday, but alas, we don't have the participation required for that. But if we do get the volunteers to join our stream, maybe that will happen. Yeah. Will be delayed at least by 1 week, but if people are interested in streaming at Fridays about the time this stream goes on, or a couple hours later, let me know in our Discord. Discord link down under. And until then, adios.
Bonus nachos.
It's not just folks.